What is a trailblazer? A vanguard? A pioneer? Or are they a pathfinder? Well, a trailblazer is all those things, and so much more. Welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio, a unique podcast platform that speaks on a multitude of subjects. Our goal is to educate, edify, and entertain. We are unafraid to open those closeted doors, and no matter what, we tell it like it is. Period. Like and follow us on all social media platforms, and listen to our audio podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Tune in, kick back, and vibe out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to TrailBlazerz Radio. I am your host, Mr. Frederick Beatty, and welcome. Tonight is a very, very special show tonight, and I am excited for the guest that we have before you. Either to your right or to your left, however you are viewing him tonight. But before we even jump into anything of that nature, man, I want to just say I want to thank everybody who's been listening to us on all audio platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Audio, and so many other places that you can listen to us on. I want to also thank you guys for watching us on YouTube and also on Facebook, man. Please do me a favor, man. Go to our YouTube channel and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you guys will be notified of any new episodes that come around. And we put out new content. We put out new content every day. So make sure that you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe to us and hit that bell notification. But only do that if you feel our content is something that is relatable and resonates with you. So last but most definitely not least, I want to thank my host, Quint Jones, Coco Fenton, LHG. Look, these guys are doing great content. Make sure you tune into what they're doing. Tune into what they got going on, and make sure you follow them. Make sure you follow them on all their social media platforms and things of that nature, man. We're everywhere on all social media platforms now: Facebook, Instagram. As I stated before, we're on YouTube. We also have a LinkedIn page. We also have a Patreon page, which is going to be up very, very soon. And we also have a Linktree page, which I put in the final finishing touches on. So. And we also have a website, which is www.trailblazersradio.net. So follow us there as well, too. So, man, look, we're everywhere. So follow us follow us everywhere, man. And last but most definitely not least, I want to just thank all our listeners and our viewers, because without you guys, this does not happen. And we're very appreciative of all our listeners and our viewers for doing this. But more importantly, I want to thank our guest, because without you guys, you guys are one of the reasons why we do this. It's guests like the gentleman that I have here with me tonight. I just want to tell you guys thank you for giving up a little bit of your time and a little bit of yourself to be with us on every episode that we have. I'm very thankful and very grateful for you guys here. And it means the world to me. Well, to us, I take that back to us. But enough with the mushy stuff, y'all. Let's jump into this, man. This gentleman right here needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give him the best introduction that I know how to give this man, give this gentleman right here. This man is this gentleman right here really needs no introduction, man. He's an Atlanta-based author and playwright. He has a production company called Deonte Bolden Productions. He's a Washington D.C. native. He directed the premiere of a stage play called Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. He's been given several awards, and he has a children's book that released in May of 2021 called Differently Abled. Like I said, this guy has a lot of accolades, and and plus, I forgot to tell you guys, plus now you can add award show ceremony director and TrailBlazerz with that as well. So a lot of accolades with this gentleman right here, and we gonna get into a lot. We gonna get into some of that stuff. We gonna get to a lot of this stuff, and we're gonna jump into this, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm TrailBlazerz Radio welcome to actor, playwright, author, and so many other names that I can give him, Mr. Deonte Bolden. How are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Well. Thank you for taking the time out of a busy day to be with us tonight, man. I know that you are still in the planning stage of getting your award ceremony in order, so I most definitely appreciate you taking the time on a Friday night to talk with us tonight, man. So, if you don't mind, I want to get into this, man. I really want to get into this. So, DC native. So, which of these things you did? Which one of these? So, out of all the things that you have going around, which one of these things that you jump in first? Was it the acting? Was it the writing? Or was it which one you jump in first?
I started out as an actor. I always wanted to act. That was something ever since I was a little kid I wanted to do. Going and begging my mom to take me to talent shows and castings and things like that. And I originally moved after the passing of my brother to Los Angeles just to pursue acting. I just saw myself as an actor, wanting to have that opportunity. And when my brother had passed, I realized that life was short, and I was like, if it's something I want to do, then I need to go for it. So I originally moved to Los Angeles, just like everyone, with a dream of acting, not knowing that all of these other accolades and titles would come after, but started with acting.
Right. So you moved to Los Angeles now. Were you in DC when you moved to Los Angeles, or were you in Atlanta when you moved to Los Angeles?
Well, I was in the DMV area, so DC, Maryland, Virginia area is called the DMV. So it's that little area, Northern Virginia area.
Right.
Decided to just pack everything, leave everything, and go for my dreams. And
so, how much of an adjustment was it to move from the DMV area to the West Coast?
It was a big adjustment. It was something that was needed. I realized that life, my philosophy is that in order to make bigger moves, you have to move in order to make bigger moves. And I felt like I really agree that sometimes our hometown can kind of cripple us to an effect, or just kind of keep us at a complacent comfort zone because it's something familiar to us. So I knew if I really wanted to take life serious in my career, I really needed to get away from that. And there was something about Virginia in that area, just felt like I was stuck and I was place to grow. So I really decided to just move to Los Angeles because I needed unfamiliar territory, and I needed to really get in the grind of what the acting world was for me.
Right. So, and going over to the West Coast, I mean, I know for me, there's so many great positive experiences I took away from it. From living in San Diego, which is 3 hours away from LA. There were so many positive experiences I took away from being there. What positive experiences did you take away from living on the West Coast?
I took a lot. I developed tough skin. I kind of went into this a little fragile sometimes. thinking that everybody was going to see the potential that I had, thinking I was going to have friends. And it really helped me to man up because I realized that in order to do this, I have to have tough skin. I have to be able to deal with the criticism, the backstabbing, friends 1 minute, certain people are going to hate on you the next. I was just a country boy moving to Los Angeles and not really understanding that everybody had their own motives when it comes to you. So for me, Los Angeles really prepared me for where I am today because now it doesn't faze me that I need to prove anything to anyone or try to be accepted. It's me creating my own circle and realizing that, I can play the game, but I can do it better.
You know what? LA will do that to a lot of people. You go in there one way, you come out another way.
Yeah, so many people in LA just has this thing where, they want to be friends with you because they want something. Everybody's trying to get ahead of the next person. People hate on people and, everybody's in this competitive mode. And I was so busy for years trying to get people to see me and be a part of people's projects. But God had a different plan for me because God is like, no, I want you to experience this because I want you to learn how to create your own platform because there's so much greater that I have in store for you than what you think you have in front of you right now. And,
right. And I think that living in Los Angeles, I think there isn't a lot of, there is collaboration, but it's like this collaboration with a motive.
Yes.
And no one really wants to be cooperative, as I like to put it. Because collaboration and cooperation to me are the same thing. It's just both of them should be benevolent or benign instead of malicious or however you want to put it. And like you said, you were just trying to just pursue your dreams, but everybody had a motive.
Yeah.
Now when you went there, after you realized that how people were to you, or knowing that now you see the nature of how this is going to be, did that change your mind? Did it change your mind state?
It did because I realized, okay, well, if people are going to be like this, and how am I still going to pursue my career? Because me, I'm always looking for the solution to the problem. I'm not really focused on the problem. And for me, I just, got to a place where I was just like, I have all these ideas. I can, create my own production company. One of the things that God tends to do to me when I complain about something is say, okay, well, what are you going to do? Now that this is put before you, now you're realizing all these people, it's this whole favoritism thing, and people don't really want to experience the talent that I can bring to the table. I still have to find a way to be seen and be heard and allow my voice to be heard. So for me, that was just creating my own name, and that's where Deonte Bolden production started. And I just have been grinding ever since, and creating my own opportunities. I'm like, nothing's gonna stop me, And for me, doing this gave me more respect. I've gained more respect as a director and a creator, and you gain more respect from people by creating your own opportunities, because then people are looking at you like, wow, look what you got going on over there. I want to be a part of that. And the people who weren't me before and now all up in my grill. So that's usually how it happens.
Right. I get that. Now, the one thing I do ask, because I know that my experience in California did change a little bit of my authenticity. Did you allow your experience in LA to change your authenticity?
No, I've always been myself. I grew up in a family, and my mom raised me very well, to always be my authentic self. I believe you have to bring your true nature to whatever it is that you do. One thing and I promise God to help me to do, is to never change who I am. If I'm going to change for the better, but I don't want to change and become my own worst enemy by allowing myself to try to fit into what everybody else is trying to create for me. I still want to be my normal self. And when I do hear people that say, he's such a humble guy and he's a man of humility, that lets me know that I'm still grounded, because just as quick as God can give it to you, God can take it away from you. So for me, I'm always staying true to myself, staying true to my faith, my beliefs, who I am, my morals, things that have been instilled in me. And I always make sure that I try to do people right. That's my biggest thing. So for me, I've always been my authentic self. And that's something that I carry with me even when I was in LA. And I think just developing that tough skin and not being so sensitive and not being so moved and fazed by what people say or do, those were the things that really had to change. But I think I've always been my authentic self.
That's cool, man. I like that because I know sometimes sometimes we go place we go somewhere there's a shift in atmosphere or shift in environment, and I've been and I've done this. I've done this. You know, we shift away from being our authentic selves to being somebody that we're not, or trying to be somebody that we're not, just because we want to be noticed, or we want to be recognized, or we want to get some sort of accolade.
Yeah.
And just like you said, it's better to be who you are and not worry about that.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. I've seen people, especially now that we have where people can pay for these blue check marks, and we got TikTok, and everybody's trying to get, do it for the gram and do it for the following. And for me, I just never been that type of person. That doesn't really faze me. To me, it's making sure that I get a message out there, making an impact. That's important to me because I don't really care how many followers I got. I don't really care about how big I get on social media. But as long as I'm making content and, that's really changing lives and allowing God to use me to be able to minister to people through my art and creativity, that's important to me. So, I've seen it, and it's sad. You really can see people, because we all got somebody on social media we connected to, and you be like, wow, you just doing anything just to be noticed and seen. I even have family members like that, but I ain't gonna say the names. But everybody just wants to be popular or seen, and it's sad. But I try to always make sure that I stay true to myself, because if I can't no longer be myself and be my authentic self, then it's something that I don't want to be a part of anymore. So
I'm gonna tell, so that you bring up a good point, and I'm gonna repeat that for everybody that's out there that's listening to us or watching us. Remember he said it here, and I've said this before too, and so that lets me know that both our spirits are in agreement. Impact is way more important than likes or follows.
mm-hmm.
People can like you and they can follow you, but they can also unlike and also unfollow you.
And they do.
But as long as you're making an impact on people, that's what's important. People that want to do things for likes and follows and friend requests, no. Why do that? That's just now you just clout chasing. And from listen to this brother right here, he's not doing what he's doing for clout chasing. Because if that was the case, then I'll put it like this: if that was the case, we would both be at like 100,000 likes and all this other stuff. But I mean, me being a person that has a platform like that, I mean, I watch numbers, but I don't watch numbers because to me numbers aren't as important as the people that shoot an email to you, or they hit you up on a YouTube or a Facebook comment and say, "Hey, I saw one of your shows and it really had an impact on me. You guys keep doing what you're doing." I'd rather hear that than have 100,000 followers. I'm just being honest.
Facts. It's true. And, just because people have followers don't necessarily mean that they are making, like you said, an impact. Because some people have followers because they post content or foolishness. And now you can even pay for followers. I think it takes away authentic, and
Pay for followers, what?
yeah, so now you can pay for, you can literally, it's a package plan. You could go online and just pay for followers, and people tend to do that. So for me, it just really, if you're not making an impact and making a difference, to me, hearing people come up to me saying about my plays, or, just the amount of empowerment and impacting that I'm doing through the award show. When you get those kind of things from people and you're changing people's lives and helping them to think of life in a different way or experience life in a different way, that means more to me than any type of follower. Because people get on there and be like, oh, you got 6,000 followers on Instagram, and all of that doesn't really matter to me. It's how many people can I connect to, how many people can I be a blessing to, and develop those great and strong friendships and relationships. So that's what it's important to me.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly because I mean, just like you said, if somebody can say I got 6,000 followers, I'll just shrug my shoulders like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, and I'm like you, how many of those people out of that 6,000 can I impact? Can I impact 2? Can I impact 3? Can I impact 10, 20? Can I impact 100? So yeah, we're both in agreement with that. Impact is way more important than follow the likes and follows. I mean, this is something that you know, and you and do you feel yourself telling that to the younger crowd instead of telling it to the younger crowd, the younger social media crowd than the older social media crowd?
Yeah, because I think now it's become a thing with social media where it's just like, for the younger generation, it's all about, my followers and all those different things. And those followers, don't really matter when it comes to your businesses, your brands, and really being those supportive people. Because I'm like, okay, I got 6,000 followers, but can I get 6,000 people into my audience when I have plays,
Yeah.
And then I think though the sad reality that sometimes people don't really understand is like half of the people, and even with famous people, and people who become bigger, and as God bless me to become bigger, half of the people who are following on social media are just being nosy, like trying to support anything you do. They look at what you have going on. They, maybe like here and there, to show you that they're watching you. But, when I look at my Facebook and social media, when I post things, I can feel the energy from certain people because half of them are not really true supporters. They're just being nosy, following along and figuring out what they can see and, what they can experience from what I have going on. So that's why I just don't even take it that serious.
People got their binoculars on, won't get a bird's eye view of what you got going on.
Yeah, you got people nosy looking at your story. They ain't gonna like nothing, but they sitting around lurking and looking. I like little owls on a
If you
tree.
go lurk, if you ever like something,
Yeah, so
I mean,
they
if you go lurk,
ain't liking, but they lurking. So
oh, see, that's and I don't, and that's not all. That's what I don't. That's what I don't like. But at the same time, I understand. I understand how that game is played.
mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like okay, it's not the game that I invented or I devised. So I'm playing, so I go ahead and play by their rules. But at the same time, I'm like, but at the same time, I put in my own rules as far as how I engage or how I did engage with certain entities or certain people. I know you lurking, and I know you ain't liking to follow it, and that's cool. So keep on lurking and keep on not following. I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and people that don't even follow you sometimes go on your page, and it's that sad reality of social media. I think people need to get that more focused because I think we're in a society now where everybody's just like follow me, and then sometimes I don't like this whole people begging for followers and stuff. It's like, to me, just do the work, and once you do the work, that's going to lead to your audience coming in and following you and building. You just have to stay steady, you just have to stay consistent, and you just have to be doing something that's really giving people the ammunition to go and be like, who is this guy? I want to follow him, follow her. So that's what I would tell people, because everybody's so let me build up my followers, but it's like, as long as you just do what you do and stay true to yourself and the work and the art, those people will come. So
yeah, if you have the work and the things that are visible in your work and in your art, people will come. It's just a matter. You just have to be patient upon it. I think the one thing and it's a good thing. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me with this on this one. We do live in a microwave society where we want things done in like 30 seconds. I mean, you can put a TV dinner in and have a ready-made meal in like a minute and a half. And I'm like, why you want it quick and easy like that? But take the time to pull out some pots and bake some pots and pans on the stove, and then you'll have something that's more to your liking. It's something that you actually literally put together yourself. It's something you can be proud of.
Right. And even when it comes to this, I know we'll probably get more in that conversation. Social media, if it wasn't for me promoting what I do, I wouldn't have social media. My friend of mine, she's a playwright as well. And she said what I said. But sometimes with social media, it just makes people have this comparison thing. You know, they're looking at other people and
Gosh.
like that they got to have this amount of success that you do. I notice, you know, people sometimes with me, when I'm doing something, I see some other people doing it and things like that. And social media just has us, you know, with this comparison thing, but you don't realize what a person has went through behind the scenes, how many years they've been at what they're doing, and now you're trying to compare your start to someone else's, you know, finish, but they've been in 10 years in the game. So, you know, I think it's that microwave thing where if he has 5, 6, 7,000 followers, or his thing is going viral, mine should be going too. And it's like you just don't know what a person has, how hard a person has worked behind the scenes. So
Exactly. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't like those types of comparisons because just like you said, it's an unfair comparison
right.
because again, it's you compare somebody to what you can't compare to things like that because like you said, somebody may have more years in the game than this other person, but then but then it's I find it unfair that when people disrespect that quote that veteran that's been around for a while and not give deference to that person that's been doing this for a good minute to the person that just hopped on the scene. Now, granted, you may have done it quicker and easier, which is fine. I'll give you credit for that, but don't 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 disregard or disrespect the OGs that came before you. You know, the people that blazed the trail for you, that, you know, allowed you to walk that path.
Facts.
I think when you disrespect people that have walked that path, and well, I'll say this: it's to me, it's disrespectful to the people who have shed the blood, sweat, and tears and walked that path to get to a specific point to where they are, and then here someone else comes and you know, a newcomer doesn't have to necessarily walk that path, which is fine. You can blaze your own trail and stuff like that. So that's fun. So I consider that as being okay. But what I don't find okay is that when there's no respect shown to the people who have came before you, who have like put this whole thing out, made it possible for you to do this, to do what you do. So that's the thing that irks me a little bit. So if you're gonna walk that path, you're gonna walk a different path. Cool with that. Just show homage to the people that have came before you. You know, show respect to the people that are behind you, or that are in front of you. Because of course you're gonna surpass them, and they're gonna be behind you eventually. But give them deference and give them their flowers now. Because
and I think that's why I really did this, you know, the Bolden Awards, because I really just feel like, you know, we don't have to wait to give people their flowers to acknowledge them for the greatness that they have. Sometimes people want to wait until someone gets to the status of Tyler Perry before they want to truly acknowledge them. But it's like you got some great people, including myself, out here who are making, you know, fantastic content and making a difference, and really out here being a winner, and, you know, hitting the pathways of success, and we don't give them that acknowledgement that they deserve
at all. So, and that's important. I find it to be very important and very vital for, you know, for us as content creators or creatives. Period. You know, you know, show deference to people that came before you, because they're still in front of you, and eventually you're gonna pass them. But show them deference, give them the flowers now. Right. So from actor to writer, what was that transition like?
It was not difficult because I had a lot of ideas in my head, you know, going out and pursuing acting. You know, I was on sets, and I say this in the most kindest way. You know, I was a part of oh my God, I know I can do something or create something better than this. Because let's just be honest, in this industry of, writing and creativity, everybody says they're a writer and a director, but everybody doesn't make, the best content. Sometimes people just think of something on the top of their head and it's like, well, where did this come from? And even we see that in Hollywood movies that come out in the movie theater. So, for me, it was just being on set. I was scared to write and create because I felt like that wasn't my lane. I was like, I'm an actor. But there was a guy who I met in Hollywood who was, my friend at the time. And he was like, you really should start writing because this is an opportunity for you to really, tap into another realm of the industry that you're going to be pretty powerful in. And I was like, what? So I was like, I've tried. And, I went home and literally had a series titled The Price of Fame, which I'm looking to bring back here in Atlanta. And I had an idea and I went with it and I literally wrote the whole series in a week, 10 episodes, because I was just it was so many different ideas in my head and I'm trusting the process.
A whole week?
Yeah, a whole week. I can literally, if I really sit down, I was like, COVID, you go for too long, I'm gonna be right. I wrote Differently Able during COVID, the whole book. If you really sit me down and I sit in a space and I really get into the writing space, I can really create some dope content. You probably could get a few scripts out of me if I sit too long. So, yeah. Well, I think Differently Able I wrote in a week.
So, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I ain't going for it. I ain't gonna even lie to you. It took me, because I'm saying this to you because there's some other people that know, because I pushed this, I've given it, I've let other people read this. I'm saying little, but it's not little. The script that I wrote for like a play, like a short film or a play, like it took me a month, a whole 31 days to write. A whole 31 days. I'm like, and then you say you pushed yours out in a week. You pushed out a whole 10 episode series in a week.
Yeah, my writing process comes quick when I really catch on to. Sometimes I procrastinate. Like I'm in the middle of a script now and I put it to the side because I have so much going on. But
right.
It's a classic piece titled Unsung Hero and Unsung. So that one I've kind of pushed to the side because I was like, I really need to get more into a mindset, because I like to sit down and really get into that space and get into these characters and the story.
Right.
I can literally push out a script. The Skin I'm In, the premiere that I just did, I wrote it's a 3-part series. So it's 3 stories. It's 3 stories and, 3 different scripts. I wrote that in 3 days. Dang. All 3 of them. And then Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places, my stage production, I wrote that in a day.
Your writing process is phenomenal.
Yeah. It just comes like once characters meet and speak, what I'll do, I'll like write a little bit and then I have to go back to it because then I'm in the mindset of it and I actually the character starts speaking again. So I'm like, I gotta get back into the computer. This is what's happening. Sometimes I hit a little writer's block and I have to just get away from it and come back to it. But when it really flows, like some of the scripts, many of the scripts that I have, I wrote scripts in days, a week. I think the longest it took me to write a script was probably a month. So
your writing process, your creative process is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just, I know it's a gift, so.
I mean, just wow. So how long did it take you to write your children's book?
Differently Able was a week. My first book, Purpose Pains, took me a little longer because I was being rebellious because there were certain things that I want to put in the book. Purpose Pains actually took me about a month or two. About a month. I think it was about a month, and I finished that one. But yeah, Differently Able, I literally sat in front of I was losing my mind around the time because my job at the time of COVID, we were shut down. So
right.
at home. We had to stay at home, and definitely Abel came. Yeah, the idea came, the title, and yeah, I wrote definitely Abel in a week.
Wow. See, your writing process is phenomenal. I know I keep repeating that, but good God, man. For you to be able to crank out stuff like that in such a short period of time, and you literally confirmed what I was thinking anyway. You're as a writer myself, your character as a writer, books and stuff like that. When your characters start talking, it's already pen to paper.
Yeah, of course you get your drafts and things like that. It's a process to go behind it. But usually for me, it's just, when an idea comes, I know it's just the gift that God has given me because I get passionate about it. I focus on it. I stay focused. Um, of course, we went through the process with the editor, going back.
Oh yeah, but oh God.
And then we added some things, but yeah, the process, the storyline and everything coming together, a week, the idea comes, the characters, I go through the outlining process, and then next thing you know, it's like let's start writing this thing, and it flows.
See, yeah. I'm about to. Well, I'll take that back because my writing process is different, is a little different. But I think if I try to adjust it to any other process, it would. I think some of the stuff I write wouldn't come out the way that it is. So I'm gonna stay where I'm at with that. So
it has a different writing process. I try to encourage people that because some people are like, oh, well, it's supposed to go like this, and everybody's process is different. How I process down and write is going to be way different than the way that you do it. We all approach writing differently.
So that's a good thing. That's a good way. That's a good thing. That's a good question. I want to segue to. So how do you approach writing? Do you approach it as something being simplistic? Do you approach it as something being complicated, or do you approach it as something just being a mix of both?
A mixture of both, because some people say, do you write just to write or do you just sit down and write? And for me, because I'm such a busy person, I have to actually be inspired. I find writing to be fascinating, and I find writing to be an escape for me. I really sometimes, I don't like to say hate because, sometimes I dislike my creativity because I actually be trying to write. I be trying to enjoy like watching movies, and in the middle of watching a movie, I'll look at something and be like, oh my God, this is an idea. I think I should do something like this. And it's completely different than what I'm watching, but an idea will come to me. And then I have to start writing it down and putting it to the side. And then I'm starting to think about writing. But yeah, it really just comes to me naturally, watching, overhearing conversations. The Skin I'm In actually was a conversation that I overheard, out and about one day. And I just heard a conversation. I was like, I need to write about this. And that's how The Skin I'm In Volume 1 started, Looking for Love in All Wrong Places was just really started out as a letter that I wrote to my mom, because she wants to be in a relationship, So it's just really those, I say sometimes the ideas come at inconvenient times because I'll be at work sometimes and the idea will come to me. But yeah, it just flows, it's a natural thing.
Wow. I love that, brother. I do. I mean, so yeah, let's talk about that premiere, man. Let's talk about that movie premiere a little bit, man. That happened what, last week or a couple of weeks ago?
A couple of weeks ago, yes. Skin 'em In. I really was just amazed about the film itself. I was passionate about it because, during COVID, we started seeing a lot of, the height of racism, certain things, police brutality and things like that. And I wanted to write something from a lighthearted place and not something that was just so, brutal or something, that really can just spread a lot of hatred. And I wrote about this, amazing woman, Melanie Hartz, who is a mom and a wife, and she grew up being biracial. Of course, she was biracial, but she grew up being bullied for being biracial. And she is now a mother and a wife, and she's teaching her daughter how to become a colorist because she doesn't want her to experience the same type of pain and trauma that she experienced growing up. But she realizes in the end that she's doing more harm than good, and that, she has to learn how to forgive, because she's passing this hurt on to her offspring. It's just a beautiful story of self-love and acceptance. And Kayla Taylor, who was my lead actress, she did a phenomenal job. The whole cast itself did an amazing job, and we we filmed it in 2021, and we went through the editing process. And this year, I was just like, we definitely have to put this out. And I started submitting to festivals. But the premiere was amazing because we just had so many people that just showed up, and the feedback, babies, kids, who enjoyed this movie so much, and they were just doing the Q&A and speaking about how this film really impacted their lives. It was just amazing. It just really showed that I did my job as a writer, director, and a producer of this amazing film. And this is just part one. So
only part one.
Only part one, yeah. So part one is so it's The Skin I'm In entirely, but part one is Melon and Melanie. We have part two, The Color of Love, and then part three will be called Behind the Blue. So.
Oh man. So, and what was it? What was it like? What was it feeling like to be on a red carpet, to have that much of a? Well, first of all, let's talk about the feeling that you felt on the red carpet to see, the people, like all the people, the actors, the people that helped make it possible. Tell me the feeling. Tell me that feeling to see those people show you that love and that respect. How did it? What was that feeling like?
It was rewarding because people see the glitz and glams of the red carpet, the film being put together, the play, or whatever we do. Even when it comes to this award show, people see all the after effects when it's over. And for me, being on the red carpet at my film premiere, it was rewarding because I was able to get something done that I enjoyed and I felt came together. But the fact that everybody just wanted to come out and experience this amazing story was just amazing to me. But just knowing what I had to go through behind the scenes, because every time you come through to a project, I don't know if it's just me, but every time I want to do something, I always have to fight hell and high water to get it put together. And something goes wrong, whether I have a cast member that's acting up, whether something doesn't go right the way I want it to. I have people fighting me in every corner, but it just shows the magnitude of the impact that's going to come with it, because nothing can be fighting you so hard unless there's something great that's being birthed inside of you or birthed inside of what you're doing. So for me, that night was just a sigh of relief that it was done, it was finished, it was put together well. Randy Williams, who was my cinematographer, he did an amazing job. The cast, the crew, everybody just came together. And one thing I realized that people were just passionate about the writing. If you have a great script, if you have something put together well for the people and something that people feel like that they have meat that they can eat on, and it just makes it all work. That everybody was just connected to the story. So I was just amazed and blessed by that.
That's what's up, man. I like that. So the second part of that question is, describe the feeling that you felt when you finally saw that finished product on the big screen, and then you hear all those cheers and the claps and the accolades and things of that nature. What was that feeling like?
It was great because we had some great people there. People who I admire, people I've connected to. We had some doctors there. We had some people from film festivals. So it was just great to see people just come together and just, Melanie was a character, and was in the movie, what she said. I think the realness and the rawness was something that people respected from me, because I'm a writer that really wants to go deep into those realms of places that people don't want to talk about. Some people come to my production, they're like, did he just put that in there? Did they just say that? Oh no, she didn't. I'm one of those type of writers, and I'm going to throw you off. I'm going to throw some things in there that you're not going to be comfortable talking about. But healing doesn't happen until we really bring these discussions to the forefront. So some of the things that Melanie was saying, things that was coming out, it was just amazing. And, I was just glad that people got the jokes, people, were entertained. I love my productions because I really get reactions from people throughout. It's never a quiet, dull moment, because people are like, what? Because one of the things that Melanie said, had her daughter saying in the film was, light is right, and everybody was just like, what did she just say? It's those things that, gets people, going, because you're not going to just come to my production and be quiet. I'm gonna bring some stuff up, and I'm going to write something or have something in the script, or several things in the script that's going to really grab your attention. So I felt like we definitely did that.
That's what's up, man. I like that. And the thing of it is this: you brought something that was lighthearted to a time, well, a time that we're still going through today. That's been so much of doom and gloom, and gosh, I see so much stuff, so much of that stuff up and down my timeline, um, and it I really can't say I really can't say anything, talk about that without being emotional about it, because all the doom and gloom stuff was something that directly impacted me. Like you said, where we're going through COVID, we still going through all these police brutality stuff, with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and stuff like that, and not to, and Rayshard Brooks. And I mean, and for you to come up with something that was lighthearted and that had an element of comedy to it, but also something that was able to be that provided a teachable moment to everybody that watched it, is something that I most definitely commend, because I mean, it could have been, you could have easily wrote that and aimed it toward a darker place, but you kept it in the light place where it needed to be, because I think nowadays I think we need to see more lighthearted things that can take our minds off that'll temporarily take our minds off the stuff, the doom and gloom that we see on a constant basis.
Yeah. And I think as a writer, it's important to bring issues to the forefront. And I call it like going fishing. You have the bait because that's the message. And then you go out there, you put that good bait out there, and then, you try to grab the fish that's going to connect to it, but in the meantime, you're still going to get the lesson. You're still going to get, the message, from it. And, colorism is a big thing in our communities. It's a form
Yes.
of racism. And I feel like the discussion needs to be brought up, because a lot of kids and people, they want to kind of swoop it under the table and not talk about it and bring it to the light. But this film deals with forgiveness, and let like, when you don't forgive, you start to pass those ideas on to your children, and your children start to pick that up, and then it's a recurring cycle. The children's children pick that up. So it's just so many different messages that were put into this film that I'm just glad.
And that's important that those messages are put out there, because I mean, forgiveness is something that I think we all fight with or contend with, in any stage of our life. That's something that's something we all fight with, we all contend with, and whether it's somebody that did something egregious to us, or whether we did something egregious to somebody else, forgiveness is something that we all contend with, because, and I say this all the time for people, forgiveness ain't for the person that wronged you, it's for you. You're the person that was transgressed. It's for the transgressed, not the transgressor.
Mm-hmm.
And then people look at me like, for real? Like, yeah, for real. It's for you, the person that was offended, the one that was transgressed against, not the person, not the person that was that did the act against you. And I tell folks, even if you ask that person for forgiveness and they don't forgive you, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for them to say, I can't forgive you. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You made those amends with yourself. Now move forward.
Yeah. And I think the great message about this was that we tend to say sometimes that we've forgiven people, but we still are holding on to certain things, or
Exactly.
actions don't align with the form of forgiveness.
Exactly.
We're still carrying that on, and we're still passing on those things. So it was just beautiful the way that it was given to the audience.
Right. I like that, because the way you put it is like, even though you forgive somebody, you can still inadvertently pass that on to somebody, which could also inadvertently damage that person.
Right. Because she started seeing the sin acts, of herself through her daughter. And I think that was the beauty that I wanted to make sure that we captured in this film, because sometimes we think it's just for us, but it's like, you got to forgive because you want your children to be the best. So, your children are watching you at all times, and your children are trusting you and picking up on, your
Right.
and your values and your thoughts as well. So.
man. I love that. I love the way that you put that because I mean, like you said, it's by saying it and then not acting in it, you can pass those. You can inadvertently damage a person by doing that. I mean, it is best if you're going to say I forgive you. You may as well just follow. If you're going to say that, you may as well just follow through with it
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be better for you and the people that's going to be affected behind and in front of it.
Absolutely. Forgiveness is powerful.
A very powerful tool, and and one of these days, I mean, now this was because this was a private show, so is this going to be like a direct to video type thing, or was this just a private show?
It was open to the public for anybody that wanted to come.
Okay.
Next step for it is really submitting to film festivals. Because it's first time me getting into the film and really having something that I'm really proud of. I really want to get into film festivals and submitting it, so I've been faithfully submitting to film festivals, getting the message out there, and then after we kind of do our run at film festivals and I'm ready to kind of let go of the project, we're looking to pitch it to some networks and things like that, see how God goes in that.
Okay, cool. Any film festivals that you specifically targeted?
Yeah.
Because I was actually going to ask, did you target Sundance? But I was going to ask you that.
That one hasn't been open yet. I'm kind of targeting ones that are kind of open. Some Atlanta Film Festival.
Okay.
For me,
Okay.
it's getting more eyes on it. I feel like that's important because don't just put it out and be like, oh, I'm gonna put it on YouTube or this and that. It's like really get out there and get it in front of some eyes of some professionals because you just never know how people may move.
Right.
Powerful film. So.
Right. That do you see that? Do you see that being something like on? Well, I was gonna say Tubi or Pluto or something like that. And I think for me that's kind of a small thought process.
Yeah, I try not to approach it from that because everybody's getting excited about Tubi. And don't get me wrong, Tubi is great. It's a platform. But for me, I'm just in a bold season where I'm just like, I know that it can go even further than Tubi, and things like that. I'm like, let's talk to Netflix, let's talk to Hulu, let's talk to the bigger platforms. Because for me, I see this film just being something that's going to eventually be on Lifetime, or something.
See that was a bigger part I was looking toward. I was looking at, Lifetime, Netflix, possibly possibly other networks too. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, but I like the plan that you're doing. You've already had a public release here in the city. Now you're gonna shop it around some film festivals to see how they react or how they receive it.
Yeah.
And then once you get that, now you're gonna pitch it to networks like Netflix, like Lifetime and hell, I was gonna say Hallmark, but but you know what? It would work on Hallmark. But
yeah. I think the beauty of it is, that and that still God has been helping me because I prayed about it. And, I keep hearing people say, go big with it. And, the thing about it is too, is learning. I want to hear different people's perspectives, from it. So going to these festivals, networking with people, it being a selection, getting the feedback from it, the raw feedback, is important to me. So I just want to make sure that it's going to be that experience for me. So.
wow, I like that, man. I like the plan that you have in place because you're taking one at a time, and as you take each step, you're gauging the feedback, and then you're applying the feedback to the next step, and to the next step, and to the next step, and to the next step. That is a great way to progress.
Right.
It really is. And I want to stress this to anybody that's a content creator that's watching this or listening to this right now. Doing things in layered steps is a good way to move things forward. Just like my brother Deonte just said, he started one place, had a show, had a release it amongst selected people, but open to the public. Now that that's done, analyzing the feedback from that event. Now he's submitting to film festivals. Got to get the feedback from that, and then determine where the next step is. every step you go, when you get that feedback, you analyze that feedback, and then that will determine where your next step is. That will determine which direction you want to go, or that'll determine whether you keep going or you come to a stopping point. And I don't believe that coming to a stopping point in anything, especially if you're as a creative, is an option really. Now, if you do something and did this, if you feel that if there hasn't been any response or no positive response to it, then maybe it's time to go back to the lab and tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if or if you take it somewhere and it's not well received, or it may not, or people may look at it and be like, well, yeah, we can't do that. Again, it's not that don't shelve it. Look at it and tweak it. And then start it. It's always good. And I say this for even for my own self. If you get to a point to where it's not well received, start back over start the process over. Before you start the process over, tweak it. Get feedback from other people. See where it's right, see where it's right, see where it's wrong. See what can be improved, what can be taken out of it, what can be taken away from what we can take it in, and what can be taken away from it. I mean,
and I can add, I would definitely like to say too, everybody's not going to be everything that you do is not going to be well received by everybody. Some people are not going to like what you do. I mean, you look at the greats like Tom. Everything that I'm going to put out there, everybody's not going to receive. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes you may hit a nerve. Sometimes you may hit a spot, that somebody's going through something and they just turn and put their nose on, but like, that ain't, it. So for me, being well received is great, but also as long as you believe in what you do, you believe in the message that you're putting out there, you believe in your content, be unstoppable, create your own lane. Just as many no's, there's going to always be that one yes and that open door for people. So I always say, just stay true to what you do and learn through the process as well. Because sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, think people are hating on us. So,
let me tell you.
Yeah, sometimes we need the criticism too to go along with it. Because I get people reading my scripts and saying, okay, well, what is this? You need to tweak that. That don't make sense. We need that because it's going to also be what's going to cross over to our audience, because sometimes it's not people hating on you, sometimes people just want to see you do better.
So. Bro, say that again.
Yeah,
say that again.
Yeah, discern it, because I hear it a lot, and it's like, everybody ain't hating on you, baby. So you got to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, so.
And the one thing that you mentioned, I love that you mentioned that discernment is a large part of being a creative, a big part of being a creative, because especially the people that are good, that eventually enter your orbit as a creative. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have a lot of people. You're gonna have people that's going to enter your orbit. They're gonna be for you. They're gonna be a person that's gonna support you through hell or high water, through thick and thin. Then you gotta have those people that's just gonna hang around just because they wait for you to hit big time so they can capitalize off of it. And you have to be able to discern those people.
Absolutely.
You gotta be able to see the wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? And I tell folks all the time. I tell folks this all the time. Just because it looks like a wolf and acts like a wolf doesn't necessarily mean it's a wolf. It can be a sheep, but you have to be able to discern the two. And I tell people, what do you mean by that? Well, you need to know what a wolf acts like. You need to determine what a wolf acts like as compared to what a sheep acts like. Oh, that what you? Yeah, discern what people are to you. And then it's easier to weed those folks away and be like, nah, I can't mess with you. Or better yet, I can mess with you, but I'm keeping you at distance. Or you good people, I see that you be well for me and you haven't done anything wrong untoward me. You can stay around. But you got to be able to discern, man. Discern who's in your corner. Discern who's going to be that person that's going to give you that constructive criticism. They're gonna give it to you in a loving way, to where you're not gonna be offended and things of that nature. And just like Deonte said earlier, sometimes you just have to develop thick skin. You have to take things as they are, because Mr. Bolden can attest to it, and I can too. There's gonna be some times where you, as a creative, or in anything you do in life, shit just ain't gonna go right. It ain't gonna go the way you want it. Everything gonna go to hell in a handbasket, and you're gonna have to make adjustments. What adjustments are you prepared to make? Is your plan rock solid? Is what you're doing rock solid? And if it's not rock solid, what contingency plans are in place? If plan A doesn't work, what's your plan B? If plan B doesn't work, what's your plan C? If plan C doesn't work, what's plan D? And if plan D doesn't work, what else? What do you have? You have to be, as being a creative means. Another thing I want to say, and Deonte can attest to this as well. Being a creative means that you put everything on the line. Everything. It's not only your creative talents, but it's also, your good name that your mom and dad gave you. It's also everything else that's with you as a creative. Everything is on the line. And you can't be afraid to fail. Because as a creative, you be surprised. You'd be surprised how many times I've seen failure before I've seen success.
Tell it.
You'd be surprised how many times we fall on our faces and still had to get up. Be like, okay, let me dust myself off and try this again. There are so many times that we've been told no. Doesn't mean, to me, denial doesn't mean that. The only thing that denial says that you can't have it at this time. Doesn't mean you can't have it at all. It just means you can't have it at this time. And not at this time doesn't mean you're being shut down or shut out. Delay doesn't mean denial, and denial isn't always a solid no. Because sometimes someone can say not at this time, and they take that as a denial when it's actually a delay. And look, I know you can attest to this, man, because you probably been in those situations too. Like somebody said, well, no.
Yeah, I think we take it as, for me, my process has always been, denial, people just, saying no, or, experiencing disappointments. But I realize in that it just means not right now. Sometimes we're not ready to go where we want to be. And there's a process that we have to go through because we have to develop into the person that's able to fit the blessing that we are seeking. When I said about developing tough skin, God can't take me anywhere or into the realms of, this, cutthroat industry if I'm not willing and what it's like to experience disappointments, to experience people backstabbing, all those different things. So it don't really faze me right now. I developed tough skin. So for me, understanding that and going through the process, has really helped me, because God is going to take you to the path that you need for yourself to develop, and some of us, we need to just develop, character, and understand what it's like to experience rejection and experience some of those things in life, so understand that and know that it's all a part of the process. For me, I'm just looking at everything's a process. What do I got to learn through this process right now? So
trust the process.
Yes, trust the process.
Because whatever that process is God ordained, and it's going to get you through whatever that is, whatever it's going to get you to the place that you are, that you're seeking to go. So trust the process, man. I mean,
gotcha.
I can't tell you how many times I've not trusted the process and things never went the way I wanted to, and I had to be like, well, why the hell did that happen? Because you didn't trust the process. You didn't trust my process. Oh, okay. Let me make an adjustment real quick. All right, God. I see where you at. I see what you're telling me. Let me go ahead and make that adjustment so the process, so I can get on the same page with your process. Cool. Got you. A1. We're good.
You preach.
Look, you know what my co-host be telling me to say that I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't preach. I just talk. But let's talk about this award show that you got going on. That's coming up. That's coming soon around the corner. Let's talk about that, man. Let's get into that. Talk about that.
Yeah, this award show was inspired by me going to an actual award show because I'm into the playwriting and the acting
Right.
and doing different things. I actually had attended a few award shows. And one of the things I realized is when I went there, I was ready for the experience. It was something new. Someone was acknowledging what I was doing. But when I went there, I realized that everybody was so stuck up, so self-centered. Just this whole thing of people getting awarded and favored because they're connected. And I was just like, what is going on here? So I remember actually going home and not wanting to attend the award show again because I was just like, everybody is just, like I just didn't, the experience wasn't what I expected it to be. I went home and I was complaining about it for a while and I was talking about it, and just disappointed. And I realized that through that, guy was speaking to me like, okay, like, what are you going to do about it? Because I was like, if I had an award show, I wouldn't be like that, because you go and greet people and people try to act like they're better than you. And everybody was just, stuck up. So I went to sleep that night and an idea came to me, the Bolden Awards. And it says, where boldness meets greatness. And I woke up with the idea and I wrote it down. But
wow,
experience was if I'm gonna do a award show, it has to be something different. It has to be something that stands out. And for me, I realized even with this award show and a couple of award shows I went to, I was like, why are certain people here in Atlanta, getting the recognition that they deserve? Why aren't they being honored? Because I have some creative friends who I'm seen on any awards ballots being honored or being nominated. And I'm like, these people are super talented. But come to find out, that it's not about what you do or how talented you are, it's who because certain people awarded, and I would go look up their work and I'm like, this is, I'm sorry, trash, it's atrocious. And of me being honest. So I said, we have to change that dynamic. And for me, it's not just about the success to me, it's also about what people have overcome, the process of how they got to the success, which we've been talking about today. So to bring significance, I said the Bolden Awards where boldness meets greatness, and we're highlighting and honoring and awarding those who've overcome obstacles and adversities while achieving excellence. And for me, it's not just about the success, but what's the process, because people have overcome so many different things in battles and they don't really get that acknowledgement, because so many people are throwing the towel because they've experienced certain things in life, but they choose to continue to push through. And I think people like that need to be acknowledged. So we have some amazing honorees from people who have overcome and survived cancer, people who have, overcome homelessness, people who are in their elderly age and still pursuing their dreams, people who have overcome, they're on their autism journey. So many incredible people all in one room at one night being honored. And the significance of this, for people to be inspired to know that it's not about what you go through, it's really how you overcome and how you push through. And then not only are we awarding people, but we're also being resourceful. We're going to have some powerful speakers speaking on autism, bullying, people are going to be speaking on mental health, really educating the people. I said this is just going to be one big experience for people to come and feel like that they're getting something out of it, because it's not just about coming to get an award show, but it's also about giving people an experience, that they can feel inspired, that they can go out and, push and just a little further to succeed and go for their dreams. So
that's what's up. I love that, man. I love that because, and I was laughing. I was laughing like at what you said, but also the truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go to some, you see some of these these award things, and they're like, they're just like, they're stuffy affairs. I mean, for lack of a better word, and I guess that's the word I would use, stuffy affairs.
Yeah.
And everybody's so stiff, and And I know it's about the meet and greet and all about it. And yeah, there's no words I could use at this point because the only word I can think of is stuffy at the moment.
And award shows just to come together, especially in the community, because we're all trying to strive to get to the next level. And award show is just really to come to be able to say, I see you, you're doing, we're in the same field, or I see you over there with greatness. And just being in the room and networking and figuring out how we can collaborate with each other, not just coming to the room. Like, I went to award shows where people were pulling up and Escalades that looked like they rented from someone. People were coming in with bodyguard uniforms on that Whitney was wearing in 1990. And it was just, it took away it took away from the experience. And I'm like, this is not what an award show should be. I understand that we have confidence in what we do, but when I walk into a room, I'm confident, but I don't mind speaking to people and really just showing my humility, because at the end of the day, you're just a vessel that God is using for his kingdom, but I find that
For
people
sure.
where they just feel like that they're better than the next person. And it's like, that's not what the award show should be about.
For sure, man. For sure. Wow. And so I gotta ask you, what's the proposed impact that you want to see from this inaugural award ceremony, and then to subsequent future ceremonies moving forward?
The impact I want people to understand is that you can overcome anything. I want people to understand that, it's okay to have experiences in life that feels like a setback, that every setback is made for a greater comeback. There's people who are out here who are in situations and they feel like they can't get out of them, or they feel like it's the end of the journey for them. And it's like, no, it's just the beginning. When you hear the different stories from these different honorees and performers and speakers, you get a sense of understanding that, wow, if they got through that, so can I. Me share my own personal story of overcoming suicide, suicidal thoughts, and me losing a brother, and me struggling with depression last year. I was able to come out and achieve something great and even put on a successful award show that's coming up. So if I can do it, and so can you. I really want people to get back to the basics of understanding that. Because we're so busy honoring people and awarding people for excellence, but we don't realize that there's stories that come behind that too. What's the story? What's the message? What's the mess behind the message? What's the test behind the testimony, right? And this is just to get a greater way for people to feel more comfortable sharing their stories, because I feel like a lot of times people feel like that their stories should be something that they should be ashamed of, to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about how many times they wanted to commit suicide in their life. I thought and contemplated it twice, but I'm here and I know it's a greater purpose. And if we can get people to a place of wanting to share their stories more, I think we can impact communities so much more, because you will be so much more relatable. I said, even when it comes to spirituality and Christianity, people are not just about you throwing Bible verses at them, but tell them your story. That's going to, captivate people's attention more if they can hear what you've been through and how you were able to overcome it.
That right there in and of itself says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to a lot. And I think when people understand that part of it, they're able to, it's at least, I won't say understand that part of it, understand the whole totality of what you just mentioned, what you just said. Getting back to the basics, getting back to what we need to do as people, but also as a community to right the ship, and to encourage those who are doing it to continue to move, continue to push forward and not give up. So I love the premies behind it. I love the mission statement behind that, because it means that, because it has so much significance, because there are people out here who could, there are a lot of, this is a crazy world we live in, and there are people out here who are in dire straits, who could use a positive message right now. And to know that you're going to present something that's going to promote positivity, that's going to promote camaraderie and collaboration, as well as cooperation. That's That's wonderful. I love that. And there we need to have more things like that. Not just here in the city. Not just here in Atlanta in the city, but every other city that's in the United States. And hell, we can hell, it needs to go. This needs to be some worldwide stuff, man. I can see this being not just being a staple here in Atlanta, but also branching out to other places like your home, like where you're born and raised at the DMV area. It can also branch out to California, so California, Los Angeles, where you cut your teeth at. But I could also see it reaching out to other states as well. The Midwest, out the Midwest, out west, and and even more southern states too, and even up north. So this has the greatest potential to be not only a national impact, but this also can be a global impact, because I think people who are impactful aren't just limited to the spaces that we're in, the spaces that the spaces that we personally occupy. There are people that are out here who are pretty much doing the same things that we're doing, and and don't get recognized like that, but they're doing it, and they're doing it on a pretty nice size scale. Right. So this has the potential to be a global thing, brother. I mean, I see the potential of that, and I also see the expansion of it being that, because like I said, this is coming from you're coming from a very, very honest and humble place, with a very simple message. Hey, let's get back to basics. Let's all do what we do, so we all can come up together as a community.
Right. And I think it even goes back to, childhood and experiences. We always overlook the ones, who don't have the popularity, don't have the following, maybe not have it all there yet. And we tend to shut them out. And I think this is a place to be able to say, we see you and you matter as well. Because I was starting to go to this, everybody had their idea and vision, go get the big followings. And I realized that they weren't so appreciative of it. And it was because God was telling me to go back to the basics, because I was trying to reach out to the mass. And God was like, that's not where I want you to be. And I had to go back to the basics of understanding that this is not their award show. This is really for the people who have been overlooked, because so many people can relate to this, because they've been the black sheep. They've been the people that people haven't been watching, or, have been putting down and not seeing to be successful. So it's just really going back to that basics. So I'm excited about it, because I've been there.
I can hear it in your voice, man. I mean, as it builds up toward that fever pitch, and you're pretty much on the home stretch of this now. This is going to be happening on May 20th, right?
May 20th, 2023 here. Gold carpet, because we don't do the traditional. It's gold carpet. We're gonna have a great time. I'm truly excited. So
that's what's up, man. Look, if you guys are, I'm gonna tell y'all that right now, man. If you guys are in the area, make sure you go to the website, www.DeonteBoldenProductions.com. There is a section on the website where it says the Bolden Awards. Check that out.
We have our own website, so if you just want to go to www.theboldenawards.com.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
But if you go to my website, it's going to lead you to the website for itself. So either one.
So however you guys want to navigate, it's still gonna take you to the same place, direct navigation, or just going to the original website. But man, May 20th, y'all, it's gonna be big. Make sure you guys get tickets to be here, man. To be here, make sure your face is in the place, because this ain't gonna be your typical award show. I'm just saying, I'm putting that disclaimer out there right now. Just from listening to this gentleman right here, and then understanding that this has a potential of being a much bigger entity. This ain't gonna be your typical award show. So if you guys are in the area, and you guys are in Atlanta, man, make sure you get a ticket and Make sure you wear your dress your best. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Yes. Doing the gold and black theme. So
There you go.
that's fine as well. But dress your best.
Dress your best, please and thank you, man. So I always ask two questions to all my guests as we come closer to conclusion here. The first question I want to ask you, and this is more of a well, I won't even say more of a, but it's a question that I always ask my guests. Um, what does legacy mean to you?
Oh, legacy means to me leaving an impact. There's a great saying that if your absence isn't felt, then your presence, didn't matter from the beginning. And for me, leaving a legacy is just really leaving, a mark. I think when you leave this earth, people want to be able to feel like something is missing. There's a void there, because of such an impact that you're making. And, to me, leaving a legacy means to leave an impact. For me,
That's it.
that's important because that's a part of that. Everybody's like, I want money, I want fame, and all these things. But I'm like, if I could just leave a legacy, something to leave behind to really help to carry on, to keep the name going, but also to allow my presence to be felt, then that's to me leaving a true legacy.
Well, that's what's up. I like that. I really do love that, man. So, the other question I want to ask you is, well, I'll preface it with this first. So we all know what a marathon is, right? So we all know how that works. So the basic premise of a marathon, if for folks who don't know, goes this way. Start of a marathon, you're at your beginning phase of the marathon, you're beginning to get your pace, or the middle phase of the marathon to where you got your stride and you're going at a good stride and you're making good time. The last phase of this marathon is that you're toward the finish line. You see the finish line is well in sight, but you're still going strong and at your same pace. Without you're not necessarily slowing down, but you're not speeding up either. So thinking about the stages of a marathon, if you could compare those to, if you could put your life in any one of those stages of the marathon of your life, looking at everything that you've been through, all your experiences up to this point, where do you see what stage of this marathon are you in?
And break down the different stages again.
Beginning, where you're coming out the gate and you're just getting your stride. The middle part is like where you are at your stride and you're going strong, and then the end finish line is in sight, but you're still going strong. You're not slowing up, or you're not slowing down, nor are you speeding up, but you're still going at that same pace toward the finish line.
I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm not in my beginning stages because I really got to a point in my career where I really truly know who I am and I know what path I'm on. I feel like in the beginning, you're still unsure where you're going and you're still trying to figure out where your lane is. And I'm not finished because I haven't even touched the surface of what it is that I know God has for me. So I really feel like I'm in the middle. I'm still on the stride. I know where I'm going. I found my path. I'm walking and running down that path. Um, and really trying to achieve, all that God has, given me to achieve. I feel like the middle path is like the safe path for me because I'm like, I never want to get to a place of feeling like I'm finished,
Right.
because I'm old and laying in my bed and knowing God's like, but then I'm also not even in the beginning stages because I feel like I've passed that. I know who Deonte is. I know what my purpose is. So.
That's what's up. I like that. A lot of people that I've asked that, they always say that they're in the middle part of it. There's only one person that said they were at the beginning, and then one person they said they were toward the end, and it wasn't because of all the things in their life. They're looking at the end of one aspect of their life ending and another one beginning. So I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, brother man, as we conclude this particular episode, man, look, I'm gonna give you the opportunity right now to let everybody know who you are, where they can find you on social media, and also let everybody know about this award show that's gonna be going down in over a month.
Yeah. So for those who don't know me, of course, I'm Deonte Bolden, filmmaker, playwright. I'm an award-winning author. I'm also a playwright strategist. I'm CEO of my own production company, Deonte Bolden Productions, which is an umbrella for many things that I have going on. I do have an academy, the Bolden Academy, where I'm helping to teach writers, specifically authors as well, how to turn their stories into scripts, ultimately for film, TV, or for the stage. So if you have an amazing idea that you're looking to really get out there on TV and film, definitely book a session with me on the website as well. But yes, I do have an incredible award show, the Bolden Awards, where boldness meets greatness, where we're highlighting and honoring those who've overcome obstacles and adversities while achieving excellence. So if you feel like you've been overlooked in life, or you just feel like you need a push, or you just really want to be in a room full of boldness and greatness, you definitely want to make sure you get your tickets and come and be a part of this amazing event. It's just going to be beautiful, from the designing to the people, the presence that's going to be in the room. Is just going to be amazing. So if you definitely want to connect with me, go to my website, www.deontebolden.com, which is there at the bottom. But if you want to know more about the Bolden Awards, you can go here and simply click the Bolden Awards tab at the top, and it'll lead you right to www.theboldenawards.com. And just come out and be a part of the experience. I'm Deonte Bolden Productions on Instagram. The Bolden Academy Awards has an Instagram as well. The Bolden Academy Awards. You can find me on Deonte Bolden Productions on all social media platforms, except for Twitter. I think I'm Deonte Bolden. But yeah, connect with me. I just definitely want to see people, come up and show out, with this award show, because it's really going to be something that's going to leave a mark on 2023. And you definitely want to be one of the people who experience it as well.
You saw I could have said that any better, man. I couldn't have said that any better. And I want to reiterate what he's talking about. So this award show, Golden Carpet Premiere, begins at 6 p.m. Doors open at 7. The award ceremony begins at 8 p.m. All these times are Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys are in the place for that, man. And you can, if you want tickets, you guys, and like you said before, you guys can go to www.theboldenawards.com, or you can go to his other page, www.deonteboldenproductions.com. Either way, you'll be directed to that page. Get those tickets, and make sure your face is in the place, man. Make sure your face is in the place. I'm very confident that my brother Deonte will thank you for showing up and showing out for these people who are underrecognized. And there's a lot of us out there. So make sure you show up for those people, man, and clap it up and cheer and just have a good time, man. I want to say this to my brother Deonte, man. Look, what you're doing is very important, very needed, very necessary, because there are people out here who have not, like you said, have not been properly recognized, and they probably been boots on the ground forever. So for one creative to another, man, I most definitely appreciate you for what you're doing, man. And I most definitely have the highest of respect and honor for you for what you're doing, because it takes someone that is bold to take that step out into the unknown and put other people first. And from one brother to another, man, I truly give you the utmost respect, and I really love the path that God has you on. So keep walking that path, keep moving forward, man. And you will always be in my prayers and my thoughts, man. And no matter and now that you are a guest here, you're no longer a guest here. So Su Casa, mi casa, su casa.
Appreciate it. And I thank you for allowing me to be on here and just giving me the opportunity to come on and share, and you definitely got a ticket on me. I definitely want to see you in the house on the Bolden Awards. And, great people like you.
I will be there with bells and whistles on, brother.
Yes, great people like you deserve to definitely be in this space with us. So I just appreciate you giving me the platform to be able to come on and talk about my experience and journey on such a beautiful, radio station.
Oh, Man, you just see don't get doing all this misty eye stuff right now, man. I can't take it. My poor heart can't take it.
No, I love what you're doing. Keep going. It's definitely needed people like you who make people come on here and feel like that they are truly special. So I just appreciate your platform.
Man, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, brother. I honestly I truly thank you because you took the time out of a Friday evening, knowing you got other things to do to come to spend a little time with me tonight, man. I appreciate that, man. I really do.
Absolutely.
I
That's
really, really
what to
do.
do. We have to show up for each other. We talk a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
Showing
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man. That's like I'm gonna reintroduce to some and introduce to others, man. My brother Deonte Bolden, playwright, author, actor, award show ceremony host, or if I won't even say host, creator and host, and so many other accolades that I can throw on this that I can put on this man. Uh, Look, go check him out on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever. And check him out. Check out his content there. Also, do me a solid, guys. Please go to his website, www.deonteboldenproductions.com. Check out the website. If you guys are interested in services that he provides, make sure you contact him. And most definitely, last but not least, if you are in the Atlanta area, man, please go grab your ticket to the Bolden Awards going down May 20th, 2023. Golden carpet is at 6 p.m. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Award ceremony starts promptly at 8 p.m. So make sure your face is in the place. And please, come through the booty now. Come through the booty. Because if I'm not mistaken, dress code will be strictly enforced. But Deonte, thank you so much again for being here tonight, man. I most definitely appreciate you, brother. We will most definitely be in touch. About you most definitely be in touch with. I'll most definitely be in touch with you because I most definitely want to have you come back, and I most definitely want you to come back so we can break down that award ceremony and talk about your thoughts and your thoughts on the reception as well as your overall thoughts on the award ceremony in general. So I thank you for coming on, man. And I most definitely want to have you back.
Absolutely, anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. You have a wonderful evening, and thank you for coming on tonight, brother.
Appreciate you. You have a good
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna end it. That's gonna end this particular episode of Trailblaze Radio. But before we go anywhere, most definitely want to thank my brother Deonte Bolden for being here tonight and taking the time out of his Friday night to be with us. Uh, he could have been doing anything else, but he rocked out with us, and I want to most definitely thank him for that. Again, the Bolden Awards will be going down May 20th, 2023, here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if your face is in the place, if your face is in Atlanta, your face needs to be in the place there, man. So most definitely show up and show out for those people who haven't been recognized. Now, before we go, excuse me. Before we go, I want to make a couple of announcements tonight. Excuse me. Want to make a couple of announcements tonight. First announcement is for my first announcement is showing support for a good. I'm showing support to a good friend of mine. Her name is Doris Howard. She is the she's the owner operator of the Goody Crew Inc. And I'm gonna put this on the screen for you guys to see. So the Goody Crew Inc. is seeking in-kind donations to help for their annual community baby shower, which is on 4/22/23. Diapers of any size, baby items, new or gently used, car seat bouncers, strollers, swings, cribs, strollers, bassinets, blankets. Monetary donations are welcome. There's a PayPal link at the bottom. There's a PayPal link at the bottom if you want to make monetary donations. If you are This annual community baby shower is for new and expected mothers. There is a registration page. There is a registration page that's on Eventbrite. I think I have the link, but if I don't have, I think I have the link. If I don't have the link, I think I have the link, but I forgot to copy it. But that's fine. I will make sure that link is available on on our Facebook page and also on my personal Facebook page. So if you are a new and expectant mother, that link will be made available to you to register. And anybody that's looking to do an in-kind donations to help for this community baby shower, please, by all means, um, let's do that, because this helps mothers. This helps new and expectant mothers who are in need, or who are looking for some things to have for their newborn that's going to be coming into this world. So any type of donation, whether it's monetary or any type of other donation, will help. So the Goody Crew Inc. thanks you in advance, and I do too. The other announcement that I want to make tonight, man, is that I want to congratulate my auntie Apostle May Sanders on the debut of her new book, Kingdom Faith in the Mustard Seed. Um, that book dropped a couple weeks. That book dropped a couple of weeks ago. Um, I am very, very proud of my aunt. I'm very, very proud of my aunt Apostle May Sanders. This was something that she was looking to get done, to get published. Um, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her. Um, the only credit I take for it is just helping her get it formatted and helping her get it published and things of that. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I take credit for. Is, but to God, I give God the glory, to give God the grace and the glory for allowing her to get this project done and off the ground. Um, so Auntie May, Auntie May, I'm so proud of you for getting this done and allowing me to help you getting it done. Um, I most definitely love you, and I most definitely appreciate you for allowing me to do this, to help you on this journey. Um, know that we got some more work to do. If you guys are interested in want to purchase the book, I'm going to put an Amazon link right here for you guys, so you guys can purchase the book. I'm also going to put, if you guys have Barnes and Noble, I'm also going to put a Barnes and Noble link out here for you guys to grab this book too. So look, guys, this is, like I said, this is something that I'm so proud of. Um, Proud of, for my aunt, and it's something that I feel proud to have helped get this done and accomplished for her. Um, she I want to help her and help her get this done. I want to make sure um, that it was something that she could be proud of, and I want to make sure it was something that she not only her being proud of it, but also something that she can pass on to her kids and her children's children. Um, Again, Auntie May, I'm so proud of you, for getting this done. Um, I love you, and I know we got more books to put out. I'm ready for that. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And here's the Amazon link for those who are wanting to purchase it. It's available currently right now as a paperback only. Um, Me and my aunt are talking about publishing it as an ebook. So when that becomes available, I'll make sure that you guys know that. Once again, the name of the book is called Kingdom Faith in the Mustard Seed. Make sure you guys go to Amazon and go purchase that book. I guarantee you that this is a book that's most definitely going to change your life. So I want you guys to show support to my aunt, show support to an author, not just because she's my aunt, but because she's an author. Um, And that's gonna wrap it up for tonight, man. That's gonna wrap it up for tonight, man. Again, I want to thank our guest, Mr. Deonte Bolden, for coming aboard, for coming on tonight, and just blessing us with his presence and us sitting down and just having a conversation about his life's work, but also about his award ceremony that's going to be coming up, man. Like I said before, the Bolden Awards goes down May 20th, 2023. Make sure your face is the place. Award ceremony begins promptly at 8. Doors are open at 7:30. Gold carpet ceremony will go. The gold carpet event will begin at 6. So make sure you guys come. Make sure you guys are in the place, and make sure you just show support to this young man. He's on a great path. He's got a great mission, and we need to show our creators more support, man. There are more creatives there are more creators out here that I can most definitely name who most definitely need your support. One of those people is Morgan Jones and Flower Child Productions, Television Productions, my brother Traz and Mika. Man, so many people that are out here that need support, but that they're looking for support. Man, so many people that I know that are looking for support. And those are the only two people that came off the top of my mind, top of my brain, because those are people that I see, that I at least speak to at least once or twice a week. And I just want to make sure that they'll know that they're recognized. And like I said, there's so many other people that I know that need support. So make sure you go out and support a creative today, man. Today or tonight, or whenever you support a creative. You don't have to, by liking and sharing their content, by purchasing a ticket to their event, going to that event, going to said event, getting that experience. See what services they offer, and if those services could be applicable to you. So, like I said, man, that concludes us for tonight, man. Make sure you continue to follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, our YouTube channel, man. Again, we are on the road to 100 subscribers. Please do me a favor by liking and subscribing, and hit that bell notification to be notified whenever we go live and things of that nature, man. But only do that if the content is something that you resonate with. But make sure you follow us on. Make sure you check out our podcast. Check out our audio. Check out the audio versions of these shows on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Deezer Radio, also on Amazon Audio, and iHeartRadio. Man, check us out on all those platforms, wherever you get your audio streaming music, your audio streaming content from. And I most definitely thank you guys so very much for being here with us tonight. You guys could be anywhere else, but you guys are right here with us, and I from the bottom of my heart, most definitely appreciate that. Most definitely want to give a big shout out to my host, Quint Jones, Coco Fitted, LHG. You guys are the best. You guys are the best team a person could ask for. I couldn't ask for a better team. So let's keep rising. Let's keep creating great content, and let's keep pushing forward, and let's keep rising, y'all. With that being said, I thank you as our viewers and our listeners. Your viewership, your listenership is very much appreciated. And I also want to thank, and I don't say this enough, and I'm gonna start saying it. I want to thank our guest, the people that come to this podcast, that come to this platform, and they talk about their books, their life story. They give a testimonies and things of that nature. Look, I want to thank you guys for giving us a part of you for a small amount of time. It is greatly appreciated, and I am gratefully cognizant and aware of the impact that you guys have made, not only on us, but also on the people that not only on us as hosts, but also on the people that are also on our listening and viewing audience. So I want to say that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so very much for being our guest here. But all right now, that is all right now. It is 9:46, man. I am about to get out of here, guys. Um, before I go, man, I'm gonna take you guys home with a little something that I premiered a while back. It's a video of mine, a song that I wrote called "Real Talk." Um, look, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you guys like this song or not. If it's something that's relatable to you guys or not. Um, I wrote the song. I'm most definitely gonna give credit to the person who created the track, Jan Hunter Jr. Um, a great guy, a great producer, man. Go check out his YouTube site. Go check out his YouTube page. Also go check out his Instagram page, man. He's got some great content over there. Got some great content on both pages. So most definitely giving credit to Jan Hunter Jr. for the use of the track. The name of the song is called Real Talk, y'all. Real Talk. I love you guys, and there's nothing you guys can do about that. And as I always say, as I conclude these podcasts, number one, be good to each other. Number two, love on each other. Last but not least, number three, it's a crazy, crazy ass world out here, man. So above all that, please, 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 and please be safe out here, y'all. I'm Frederick Beatty with TrailBlazerz Radio. Love you guys. See you guys again on the next one.
That's Hunter.
Yeah. Mr. Angry Man is back. I'm back. That's right. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Nah. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Yeah. Listen. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. Y'all ain't know that I can rock like that. United we fall, divided we rise. That's all they ever see when they look in our eyes. I ain't the least bit surprised, and I don't even ask why I study. Looking for love and all we get is despise. They proper lying, what? Meaning they falsely prophesying, talking about we really living, but we steadily dying. Tired of mothers crying, damn, and fathers silently raging. There's gotta be a way to escape this situation now. Yup. Come on. Verse 2. We search for brighter days to escape the maladies, giving homage to the folks that passed away. I speak life with the words I say, and that's the weapon I use to keep the evil at bay. I don't play when it comes to mine. My rhymes speak of a revolution. This time it's by design, and I'ma drop these deposits. So if you scared, take your ass to the closet. Why? Let me tell you this. Let's go. I got one more verse for you. Get them off of that verse. Listen to me now. Verse 3. I drop gems, representing lugs and Timbs with backpacks. I got props like Black Moon, they want effect like Daz. I'm wearing mic like Nas. I'm the southern playalistic cat that beat them odds. I'm coming out hard. We coming out hard. Yes, sir. Y'all didn't know that I can rock like that. Ha. One time for your mind, representing for the deuce. That's right, put it down for the deuce tray. Let's go, Mr. Angry Man. Haha. Peace. See y'all in the next one. Love y'all.